So, what do you think your greatest strength as a player is?
I don't know. Maybe hitting.
Last summer, we got to see one of the greatest moments in Major League Baseball history. And I'm not just saying that because I am from St. Louis and a die-hard Cardinals fan. I'm talking about the return of Albert Pujols to Busch Stadium. If you don't know who Albert Pujols is, he was drafted by the Cardinals in 2001 and was probably one of the greatest players to ever play on the offensive side of the bat for the St. Louis Cardinals. He won not only a batting title, he was also Rookie of the Year his first year in the league. He is a 3-time MVP and was a 2-time World Series champ, leading the Cardinals to their last World Series victory in 2011. Albert Pujols was regarded dangerous by most pitchers, and I can remember going to baseball games as a kid and seeing Albert Pujols getting walked intentionally and going, why would they walk Albert? That doesn't make any sense. They should pitch him. He's really good, but that's the point. No one wanted to pitch to Albert because he was deadly. He was a force to be reckoned with, and he would tear your pitches apart if he saw something that was right for the taking, which is why Albert was so successful. After Albert brought the 2011 World Series win, fans were absolutely heartbroken to find out that he decided to sign with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim after their 2011 win. Ever since then, Cardinal fans have been mostly upset at Albert for selling out and taking the money and moving to Los Angeles rather than staying loyal to a team. The logistics of that deal are a lot more complicated and something that we won't go into the topic of this video, but we will talk about his return, which happened last year. And for the first time since he went to the Angels, we saw Albert Pujols play in Busch Stadium. And by goodness, it was absolutely magical. This is Albert Returns to the Lou. I can remember the weekend in June right before Albert was to come in and play in a weekend series, the Angels versus the Cardinals. And I can remember listening to sports radio and a lot of people talking about, how is Albert going to be received? Is it going to be boos? Is it going to be cheers? Because trust me, we St. Louisans love our Cardinal baseball, and I don't think we have ever been in a situation where a player has left to go to a different team. Now, granted, this happened in 2012, and this was a whole 8 years later, a whole 8 years of Albert spent in Anaheim, and a whole 8 years of very close victories and struggles for the Cardinals as a baseball club. So overall, when we found out that Albert was coming back this season, it was definitely an interesting dynamic. How would he be received? Would the city praise him because of all of his contributions he made to the Cardinals while he was on, or would he be absolutely hated? I think a big tell would be his first bat, and I'm sure for those who were in attendance, they could tell that the atmosphere was electric. It wasn't just another baseball game in June, as Dan McLaughlin said, and I think he put it right on the nail of the head as we saw Albert step up to take his first bat in Busch Stadium since Game 7 of the World Series in 2011.
Batting fifth, number 5, first baseman, Albert Pujols.
Albert walks up to the batter's box, and the umpire and even Yadier Molina takes a step off of the bag and gives him his moment. The fans in Busch Stadium are going absolutely electric, and it is unlike any standing ovation I've ever seen in Cardinal, let alone baseball history. After his first at-bat, Albert, in true Albert Pujols fashion, swung on the first pitch and managed to knock a high fly ball into right field, and Harrison Bader caught it. And that was it for Albert's first at-bat. Every at-bat after that, Albert was greeted by the fans who loved him for all these years and gave him standing ovations every time. It was absolutely an insane weekend series to watch, but I think the moment that capped it all off was during Game 2 of the series when Albert Pujols hit his first home run in Busch Stadium since the 2011 World Series.
And that is driven out to deep left field. That is out of here. Big fly for Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols was one of the greatest baseball players I've ever seen. And his entire career we can talk about for hours. All the decisions and everything that we usually like to do with professional athletes is we like to break down all of their careers and all their milestones. But I think every now and then we just have to sit back and just think of one memory, one thing that made them great. And if you were to ask me what made Albert so great in St. Louis, was his dedication to being the best no matter what, and giving us some truly electrifying moments, seeing him hit massive home runs, seeing him clutch up in World Series situations, putting the team on his shoulders, and hitting 3 home runs even in one night for some postseason games, were some of the moments that, as a Cardinals fan and as a baseball fan, I don't think we will ever forget. If you guys like videos like this, please leave a like, comment down below, and also let me know what other things you would like to see on this channel. I'm kind of just open to suggestions and really curious on what you guys have feedback-wise and what you are wanting to see on this channel. Do you like quicker hits like this, or do you like longer style videos like my Kobe Bryant video? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I hope everyone is staying happy, safe, and healthy during these times.
And the 2-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. Albert hits it a ton out to deep left. He gave us 11 years of memories we'll never forget. He's just given us another.